Hello Manchester United family. Man United weigh up £40 million move for Ipswich's Delap. Wednesday's gossip. Manchester United are considering a move for Liam Delap. Liverpool are set to offer Newcastle Darwin Núñez plus cash in an attempt to land Alexander Isak, and Brighton might reluctantly sell Japan forward Kaoru Mitoma. Manchester United are weighing up a move for Ipswich Town's £40M. Rated England under-21 striker Liam Delap, 22. Delap, who came through Manchester City's academy, has 10 Premier League goals this season and is also interesting Chelsea. Liverpool are prepared to offer Uruguay forward Darwin Núñez, 25, plus cash in exchange for Newcastle's £100M, plus rated Sweden forward Alexander Isak, 25. Isak has scored 17 Premier League goals this season. However, Newcastle will not allow their best players to leave if they miss out on qualifying for next season's Champions League. Arsenal and Chelsea are interested in Eintracht Frankfurt's French striker Hugo Ekitike, 22, as an alternative to Isak. Liverpool are set for a busy summer of transfer activity, with Barcelona and Netherlands midfielder Frankie de Jong, 27, on a list of players the Reds might bid for. Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola, who has got Cherries fans dreaming of Europe, is top of Tottenham's list if they decide to replace Ange Postecoglou, who has been in charge since June 2023 but is under pressure following a poor run of results. Manchester City's Argentine midfielder Maximo Perroni, 22, wants to turn his loan in Italy with Como, managed by former Arsenal and Chelsea midfielder Cesc Fabregas, into a permanent move. Brighton might reluctantly sell Japan forward Kaoru Mitoma, 27, this summer for about £66 million as he enters the final 2 years of his contract, with Chelsea one of the clubs interested. AC Milan's Netherlands midfielder Tijani Reinders, 26, will sign a new deal with the Italian club until 2030. Man United set for Mason Greenwood cash windfall as Bundesliga clubs step up interest. Bayern Munich have entered the race to sign Mason Greenwood, and this could potentially boost Manchester United's bank balance thanks to their sell-on clause. TBR Football has revealed that Man United are continuing to keep a close eye on Greenwood, who is thriving in France with Marseille. The 23-year-old forward has racked up 14 goals and 3 assists in League One this season, and this has attracted interest from some of Europe's biggest clubs. While United have no plans to activate their buyback clause, they could still cash in if Greenwood secures a big move this summer. I cried in my car the day I left Man United. Which United legend has hit out at the lies about his time at Old Trafford? The outlet states that Barcelona remain the frontrunners for Greenwood's signature, with Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, and PSG also in the mix, while we reported on a Premier League club's interest in the attacker. United sold Greenwood to Marseille for £26.6 million in July 2024, securing a 50% sell-on clause as part of the deal. Bayern Munich and Barcelona push for Mason Greenwood. It's thought that Bayern have now stepped up their interest, with it reported that their scouts in attendance as Marseille thrashed Saint Etienne 5-1 over the weekend. Greenwood was on target yet again, converting from the penalty spot to take his tally to 14 league goals this season, and help push Marseille into second place. With Leroy Sane, Serge Gnabry, and Kingsley Coman all facing uncertain futures, Greenwood is firmly on Bayern's radar as a potential replacement. Meanwhile, Barcelona have admired the 23-year-old since his impressive loan spell at Getafe, where he contributed 16 goals and assists in 24 matches. Chelsea have shown once again this season that they're not quite the finished article and their European challenge is fading fast. However, if they can land Brighton and Hove Albion's Kaoru Mitoma in the summer, things could start to look up for the Blues. It was the 27-year-old that was chief destroyer in the recent win over the West London outfit with a goal and performance of real quality. Messi-like Kaoru Mitoma could be set for Chelsea switch. Jamie Carragher described Mitoma's goal as Messi-like, which is arguably the highest compliment he could have paid to the player. Sources have indicated to Caught Offside that Mitoma will be one of the most in-demand players in the summer transfer window, even though the Seagulls are known to be loath to lose him. That said, sources understand that if an offer comes in for him in the region of €80 million, they will, reluctantly, part company with him. I cried in my car the day I left Man United. Which United legend has hit out at the lies about his time at Old Trafford? Reports have already indicated that Chelsea would be willing to meet Brighton's valuation, albeit no official discussions have begun at this stage. Talks have double boost and new permanent role. Man United possible strongest 11 versus Everton amid injury crisis. Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim will be praying for some good news on the injury and illness front this week. Following Harry Maguire's last gasp winner against Leicester City in the FA Cup, Manchester United had 9 days to prepare for their next game. United have had to contend with a demanding fixture schedule since Ruben Amorim's appointment in November, meaning clear midweeks have been limited. However, United had the luxury of a free midweek ahead of Sunday's trip to Tottenham Hotspur, offering Amorim a full week on the training ground with his players. Naturally, an extended period of time to prepare for the clash with Spurs increased positivity levels among United supporters. They had seen the benefit of extended preparation time during last month's trips to Liverpool and Arsenal. However, it came to light on Saturday that Amorim would be traveling to the capital with a depleted squad. The biggest blow of all saw Ahmad confirm he faces a spell on the sidelines with an ankle injury. Amorim does not expect him to play again this season. Midfielders Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte were also ruled out, likewise Toby Collier. By the time United arrived at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium not much less than an hour before kickoff, it was revealed Leny Yoro and Christian Eriksen had joined the list of absentees, each missing out through illness. It meant Amorim had no choice but to fill almost all of his bench with youngsters. 7 academy players made the bench in total, with Victor Lindelof the only member of the 9-man bench to have ever played for the first team. Of course, United were beaten 1-0 by Spurs, despite producing a valiant effort in the circumstances. Had Alejandro Garnacho or Joshua Zirkzee been a little bit more composed in front of goal, United would have claimed a point at the very least. Next up for the Reds is a farewell trip to Goodison Park to face Everton on Saturday lunchtime. Amorim will issue an update on the team news when he faces the media later this week at Carrington, but he admitted he was hopeful of recovering Yoro and Eriksen for the short trip to Merseyside. Speaking in Sunday's post-match press conference, Amorim said, "Let's wait a few more days. I think Leny and Chris were sick, so they will recover. Chris has the heart situation and we have to be really careful with that. It's nothing about the heart. I'm just saying the heart rate has to be controlled because he has a fever. I think they will recover and the rest we will see. If the duo recover in time and are deemed fit enough to start, it would be no surprise to see Amorim throw them straight into the starting 11. Eriksen has had some bright moments this season and almost certainly would have started against his former club at the weekend had he been available. Andre Onana was the only senior goalkeeper available on Sunday and Rio Ferdinand brutally slammed after making nonsense Man United prediction. Troy Deeney has rubbished comments made by former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand, who is worried about where his old club's next win is going to come from. Rio Ferdinand has been blasted by Troy Deeney after the former Manchester United star expressed fears that his old team might not win again this season. The Red Devils have endured a horrific campaign and are currently languishing in 15th place in the Premier League table, with new boss, Ruben Amorim, enduring a baptism of fire after succeeding Erik ten Hag late last year. United's poor form led Ferdinand to say earlier this week that he was starting to think about how many points they would need to be safe and that he could only see them potentially beating Leicester City between now and the end of the season. But Deeney, speaking on TalkSport, says Ferdinand's comments are nonsense and that United have nothing to worry about. "I think Rio is full of nonsense on this situation," the former Watford striker said. "I guess he's trying to say that how they're currently playing they can't really win anything. I just think this is still Man United, they will pull it together. If you look at the games they have left to play, Everton this weekend, I fancy them in that game. Ipswich, I fancy them in that game. Arsenal, they've already shown they can put in a result against them. Leicester they're going to beat as well. Forest and Man City are obviously difficult, but they've already beaten City as well. They're going to beat Wolves. And they'll beat West Ham, so there's 4 already. I just think with Rio it's this thing of trying to overdramatize it, but there's no need to. I've seen him do games where he's critiquing Arsenal, but then the next day he doesn't do that Man United game because he doesn't want to critique them too much. Enjoy the podcast, but not that. While Ferdinand admitted he was concerned about where United's next win was going to come from, he has stressed that the club must keep faith with Amorim. The Red Devils will be hoping to bounce back from last weekend's loss against Tottenham when they travel to Everton on Saturday, who are now bossed by United's former manager, David Moyes.